Hey there everyone, Mazrock here, and today in our Eberron Deep Dive lore, we are going to be taking a look at the nation of Karrnath and their undead armies. Let's go. Karrnath, the northern nation of Khorvaire. Karrnath was actually the first nation to deny or renounce the Queen of Ciri as the Queen of all of Galifar, essentially kicking off the last war and really spiking all of that. Now, there are theories, and the people of Khorvaire absolutely believe that given enough time, they would have won the last war. Now, they are a martial nation. They have one of the biggest and best schools for martial training. All of the officers in Galifar before the last war were all trained at Rechenmark, which is a military school within Karrnath. And it was very, very well known and known to be the best. So when the last war kicked off, of course, Rechenmark became Karrnath only, but Karrnath did not have the magical support that, say, Thrain and Undair did at their borders. So they were much more military disciplined and military force, but that sort of discipline, they believed, could have ended up helping them win the war. But what happened is they suffered a plague and a famine very early in the war, killing off a large portion of their population. Now, the Blood of Vol, which is a vampire religious order in Karrnath, had struck a deal with the king to raise undead to fight along their borders and walls and supplement their forces. And to this day, there are undead that guard their walls and are kept in like large storage compartments in basements just in case if they're ever needed. Now, King Caius III has been the biggest proponent of peace, and he is the current king of Karrnath. He's the one that begun the Treaty of the Thronehold, and he is the largest proponent for peace in all of Khorvaire. He does not want war. He does not want another one. And at the same time, the Blood of Vol is no longer the official religion of Karrnath. The sovereign host has come back in, but the citizens are divided. Around half of them believe that the Blood of Vol should be their national religion, versus the other half, which is the sovereign host. So there is a nice religious divide between Karrnath that could be exploited for, moments of intrigue or campaign hooks that you could absolutely use in your campaign or your adventure visiting Karrnath. There are, again, hordes of undead, all controlled by the Blood of Vol. There are definite great intrigue moments of plot and that you could use where the Blood of Vol is trying to position themselves to get the king to agree. Perhaps even they want to assassinate the king. So there's a lot of different options that you can use there. But at the same time, Caius absolutely wants peace, but the rest of Khorvaire does not believe that. They believe that Karrnath is the one nation that's trying to kind of re-trigger war. So there is beauty in perspective there, and how you can play into that. I'm kind of like, when I do my campaigns, I like kind of flipping the switch sometimes. Like, oh, you thought this was that? Oh, it's this? Well, you can play with that through an entire campaign hook as an adventure hook. So there's that. The citizens are still under like a martial law. So when the original famine and the plague hit, King Caius the First put down a rationing and a very strict law. Crime is severely punished in Karrnath, and the people have adapted and still live like that to this day, believing that their discipline is for the best in their future, which kind of gives this hardened, grizzledness to the citizens of Karrnath, as well as their martial discipline. There are still many forts within Karrnath, And almost any town that isn't walled can still maintains a militia that can pretty easily be riled up. So there's a lot of different fun ideas that your players could do. Perhaps they're a bunch of murder hobos. Bring them to Karrnath, and they will have very quickly, with those types of actions, have an entire nation coming for them to have them suffer the repercussions for their actions. Lots of different options for you there as well. So there's a few notable, sites in Karrnath. The Rechenmarks Martial School, military school. That's something you can have a lot of fun with. The capital is Korth, which has a nice mix of sovereign hosts, and Blood of Vol. But the Blood of Vol and Korth aren't exactly treated that well, but they still are there and present. And House Daneth, the dragon-marked house for kind of mercenaries and sentinels, make their home in Karrnath as well, and have what's well known as the most fortified fortress in Khorvaire, which is just north of the Mournlands, kind of breaking that border, if I'm not mistaken. So Karrnath is really a land of kind of two separate mindsets kind of converging and clashing together. Some converge, some clash, and some clash by conversion. So if you're looking for adventure hooks, there are a lot there. Perhaps someone is trying to goat Karrnath into war, thinking that King Caius doesn't want as much peace as he wants, and the Blood of Vol. But then there's also the people of the Sovereign Host, the people just generally believing that they would have won and want their destiny to be true, and Karrnath reigns supreme over Khorvaire. There's a lot of fun options that you can do there and work with as a DM. I have a few adventure hooks in mind that I kind of want to work out and have fun. I have a few ideas of kind of what I want to do. I'm thinking like a few series of one-shots in different nations, but we'll get that when the time comes to it. Unfortunately, I have not enough time to play D&D with my life. Too busy. So I stream on Twitch every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Come on by, ask me your DM questions. Ask me any questions about D&D, what I think of this, what I think of that. I'm happy to talk D&D 24/7. Rime of the Frostmane is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come by, check out the stream. It's a lot of fun. It has been both silly and horrific in weird ways. The session recaps for that are in the Patreon below. They are free to everyone. You do not need to be a patron to get the session recaps. There are about 1 to 2 minute reads, so you can read them, catch up, and then pretty easily be back on stream. I'm almost done editing the VODs for that, so there's that. Down below, there's links for Patreon, Etsy, and plenty of different ways to help support a stay-at-home dad who's trying to really, find different means to make money. So all of that. I hope your next session is a fantastic one. I hope to see you guys on stream and chat. Have yourselves a great day, and see you soon.